Hello everyone, my name is Akif Nawaz. Today's lecture is going to be very interesting because we'll be unveiling the rich tapestry of English Renaissance. It's really important because it's the beginning of one of the most important period of the history of English literature. So let's talk about Renaissance briefly. So Renaissance basically is a term that is taken from a French word which means rebirth, and this period refers to a period of classical wisdom and enlightenment, right? So let's move on exploring more things about English Renaissance. So we can simply say that the English Renaissance spans from the late 15th century to the early 17th century, approximately from 1485 to 1625. Then, what is the significance? This era marked a revival of art, literature, and learning inspired by classical antiquity, emphasizing human potential and creativity. So they are more concerned about the revival of the art, literature, and classical antiquity, right? And the focus was on human potential and creativity. Now, there comes a cultural shift. The transition from medieval to modern thought included a focus on individualism and exploration of human experience. So, this was the first period in which the focus was on human human being or the individual, right? Like I say, the period laid the groundwork for modern English literature, profoundly influencing subsequent literary movements. So यही वो पीरियड है जिसमें हम क्या करते हैं, ग्राउंड वर्क आपको प्रोवाइड होता है मॉडर्न जो हमारे पास वर्क्स आने वाले हैं मॉडर्न मूवमेंट्स को बढ़ावा देने के लिए. नाउ की हिस्टोरिकल कॉन्टेक्स्ट इन 1485 द ascent of Henry VII marks the beginning of the Tudor dynasty, which greatly influences cultural development. And we know that the rise of the Tudor dynasty ended one of the wars that is called as War of the Roses between Lancasters and York. The next one is 1535, the English Reformation, initiated by Henry VIII's break from the Catholic Church, reshapes religious and political landscape. Now, these are the key historical events, right? So, you need to keep all of them in mind one by one. Now, the impact of Reformation. This led to increased literacy and the spread of ideas, fostering a vibrant intellectual environment. Now, every event that has happened in the past has definitely impact on the present and will have an impact in the future, so for sure. Now, what do we mean by cultural exchange? The period saw greater engagement with European ideas, particularly from Italy and the continent, enriching English thought. So, there was a cultural thought between England, Italy, French. So, all of them reshaped the overall thoughts of the European culture, right? Now, literary flourishing. Key figures, notable authors include William Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, Edmund Spenser, whose works explored complex human emotions. Now, these are not only the key notable writers of English Renaissance, but it's all about the English history or the English literature. These are the most notable writers of all times. Now, Shakespeare's influence wrote around 39 plays and 154 sonnets, introducing themes of love, ambition, and betrayal. Now, Shakespeare is the most influential of all when it comes to English literature. Marlowe's contribution. Marlowe's works such as Dr. Faustus challenged traditional morality and reflected Renaissance humanism. Spenser's legacy. The Fairy Queen combines allegory and epic poetry, celebrating Tudor England and its virtues. The rise of drama. Now, drama is one of the most prominent genre of English literature, and when it comes to the English Renaissance, here we noticed the rise of drama. Now, significant development. The establishment of public theatres such as the Globe Theatre in 1599 revolutionized the accessibility of drama to the public. So theatres were built, and then a lot of writers, they worked on drama, they wrote so many different dramas, and that's why we can say that drama, this genre, is highly developed. Performance culture. Plays became popular entertainment, attracting diverse audiences and fostering a communal experience. So not only writers used to write dramas, but along with that, acting, people used to perform it in front of the audience, and audience was also interested in watching their performances on the stage, right? Shakespeare's impact. Now, Shakespeare impact, the first recorded performance of Hamlet in 1600 showcased the sophistication of Elizabethan drama and its intricate storytelling. So we can say that Hamlet drama was first showcased or telecasted on the stage, firstly in 1600. Theatrical innovation. This period saw innovation in stagecraft, including elaborate sets and the use of special effects. Now, theaters were of the immense importance too, just because of the fact people used to watch and writers used to write. So that is why, in order to enrich this experience, they used to work on the theaters too, right? Now, humanism and influence. Now, this is the key theme or the focus of all those writers. Humanism focused on the study of classical texts, emphasizing reason, ethics, and the potential of the individual. So, the focus was on the betterment of the individual. Notable works was that of Thomas More's Utopia that he wrote in 1526 presents a vision of an ideal society encouraging critical reflection on contemporary social issues. The philosophical shift. Humanism questioned traditional authorities, leading to new perspective on governance, religion, and personal conduct. So there came the philosophical shift too, from traditional authorities then to new perspective on governance, religion, and personal conduct. Everything changed when it comes to the English Renaissance. Impact on literature. This intellectual movement inspired writers to explore themes of individuality, morality, and human experience in their works. So the more focus was on the individual's life, his morality, his human experiences, etc. and etc. Now, the role of the patronage means the role of those who were in control. Many writers relied on the financial support of wealthy nobles, which influenced the themes and styles of their literature. Now, definitely, when it comes to writing, when it comes to literature, you need a handsome amount of money as well in order to focus on your writing. So most of the writers used to rely on the financial support of the wealthy nobles, and definitely when you are financially dependent on someone, so they definitely influence your style, your theme, and your overall work. Now, example, Queen Elizabeth I was a significant patron, supporting artists and playwrights, which helped fostering a vibrant cultural scene. Now, Queen Elizabeth I was highly interested in investing in literature, in culture, in playwrights, in overall writing, right? Mutual benefits. This patronage relationship allowed writers to focus on their craft while providing nobles with prestige and entertainment. Now, it was a win win situation for both of them. For writers, they used to get financial support from the patronage, right? And on the other hand, patronage mm, uh, used to have prestige, and along with that, they used to be entertained as well, right? Legacy of support. The practice of patronage established a model for artistic funding that influenced later literary and artistic movements. Now, poetry and prose. Again, look, they poetry and prose are not that that famous genres, but still, we can say that they most of the writers worked on this too. Key figures: John Donne and Sir Philip Sidney made significant contribution to the development of metaphysical poetry and sonnet forms. Right? Donne's exploration. Donne's work like The Flea feature complex metaphors and wit, challenging conventional notions of love and desire. Then the Sydney's influence, the his writings of Astrophel and Stella is a landmark in English sonnet literature, combining personal emotion with poetic form. Then we have literary techniques like vivid imagery, intricate wordplay, and exploration of essential themes. So not only drama was the prominent genre, but along with that, there were writers who worked in poetry and prose Two. Now, the overall impact on the language, because it was a shift from medieval English or Middle English to the Renaissance period, right? To the modern English. Now, what are the differences that we find when it comes to language, right? The English Renaissance significantly enriched the English language, introducing thousands of new words and phrases. Like a lot of writers wrote a lot of works. So that's why, just because of this element, a lot of new expressions were added into the English language. Shakespeare's contribution alone is credited with coining over 1700 words. Coining means the production of new words, right? That were not existing before, and popularizing many idiomatic expressions still in use today. Now, the period marked a transition from Middle English to early modern English, making literature more accessible to the public, right? Then we have cultural significance, like the linguistic evolution facilitated greater expressions of ideas and emotions, reflecting dynamic changes of the era. So we can say that not only it had an impact on the change in the themes of literature, along with that we came to know about the patronage, that who were the individuals who used to support writers financially, and they were entertained too. We also explored the themes, that the overall theme was revolving around humanism, that how to make the human's life far more better, right? And along with that there came the impact on language, and we also discussed different genres, like how drama was explored and developed. Then we did talk about poetry and prose too. So that's all from my side. I hope most of the things will be quite clear to you now. Now, this was a rough overview. Now, the next step will be to talk about each of the writer, the prominent writers of English Renaissance in detail. So, we'll be focusing on dramatists, then we'll be discussing those who made a lot of contribution in poetry and also in prose. So stay tuned. I hope this would have been a bit of informative. Now we'll see you in the next one. Take great care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.